as John continues this vision he's having, he sees Jesus beginning to open the seals and unravel the scroll that is God's plans for this universe. Jesus has proved himself worthy to do this because he, as the lion lamb, has died and has risen again, and so has conquered death. He's purchased a people for God. He's brought purification for our sins. And so Jesus begins to open each seal one by one. As the first 4 seals are unravelled, so there are 4 horses that appear, each with a rider upon it, and each one a different colour. These horses are taken from Zechariah's vision, but adapted here for John's purposes. And so the first horse is a white colour, the rider has a crown, and this horseman is set upon conquest. The next one is a red-coloured horse, the rider has a sword in its hand, and the rider is set upon causing conflict upon the earth. The next horse is a black-coloured horse. It has scales in the rider's hands, and famine is caused, as people can't even afford to buy basic food items. The final 4th horse is a pale green, sickly coloured horse. The rider brings with it the realm of the dead, Sheol, and this rider causes the death of 1/4 of the people on the earth. So there is conquest, conflict, famine and death going on. Will these things be in the future, before Jesus returns? I'm sure they will be. Were these things around in the 1st century as this letter was written to these 7 churches? I'm sure they were. And have these things been around ever since? Well, yes, they have. So I think what we see here are what happens under God's sovereign plans going on in our world all of the time. But what we need to remember is, who is the one who is holding the scroll? Who is the one who is unraveling it as he opens the seals? It is Jesus, the one who has proved himself worthy to do this. With the 5th scroll there are no more horses, but instead John sees those that have died as Christians for their faith in the presence of God in heaven under the throne, and they're crying out, "How long, O Lord? How long before you bring justice for our deaths? How long before you demonstrate that our deaths weren't in vain?" And God assures them, saying, just a little bit longer until all of that is finished and done. And then the 6th scroll is opened, and it seems like it's almost at the end of the world, as everything is in chaos, as things are in complete upheaval. That doesn't necessarily mean that there will be literal stars falling from the sky and islands and mountains being turned upside down when Jesus returns. But these images are used to describe what goes on when empires are overthrown or when kings are defeated in the ancient world. And so this is too much for those kings who rule those empires. They're crying for the mountains to fall upon them, to be hidden from the Lord, because this is just too terrifying for them. Well, there will be a day when we're right at the brink of the end of all things, when Jesus returns. That day is still to come in the future. We don't know exactly when that time will be. God is the only one who knows that. But on that day, it will be terrifying for those who have done evil things in this world, They will want to hide away from God's presence. But for those who have followed Jesus, for those who have trusted in him and have given their lives to him, this will be a day when it is revealed that it really was worth it. It really was worth following him. It is a day of vindication and of justice for the Christian. Well, join us next time as we look into chapter 7. That won't be for a couple of weeks. I'm having a couple of weeks off, so there won't be any videos until that time. But if you subscribe and make sure you have hit the bell icon for notifications, then you'll know when that next video is coming.